If you are over 60 and you take vitamin B12 because you want more energy, better memory, steadier legs, and stronger nerves, then please stay with me. My name is Dr. Alina Serratia, and tonight I need to speak to you with honesty and care. Many older adults are taking vitamin B12 with good intentions, but they are taking it the wrong way. They swallow it every day or now and then, and they expect their burning feet, numb toes, heavy legs, weak balance, and deep tiredness to fade away. Then nothing changes, or only a little changes, and they begin to feel disappointed, confused, and hopeless. That is exactly why this message matters. I hear this problem all the time. People tell me, "Doctor, I bought vitamin B12 because everybody says it helps nerves and energy. I have been taking it for weeks or months. So why do my feet still tingle? Why do my hands still feel numb? Why do I still wake up weak, foggy, or unsteady? Why do my legs feel like they do not fully belong to me anymore?" These are painful questions, and they deserve real answers. The truth is that vitamin B12 can be helpful, but many older adults use it in a careless way. They choose the wrong form, the wrong timing, the wrong dose, or they never find out why they became low in the first place. I want you to hear me clearly. Vitamin B12 is not a small thing. It matters for nerve health, blood cells, energy, brain function, balance, and how well the body carries oxygen. When B12 runs too low, the body may not scream right away. It often whispers first. It may show up as tiredness that seems out of place. It may show up as tingling in the feet, burning in the toes, numbness in the hands, weak legs, poor balance, brain fog, or even a strange feeling that your body is slowing down in ways you cannot explain. Because these changes come on slowly, many older adults blame age instead of asking better questions. The first big mistake I see is that people think every B12 product works the same way. It does not. Some people do better with methylcobalamin. Some do better with cyanocobalamin. Some absorb better from a tablet that dissolves under the tongue. Some do not absorb well through the stomach at all and may need injections. If your body is not absorbing what you swallow, then you may sit there wondering why the bottle is not working when the real problem is the root. That is not your fault if nobody explained it to you. But it does mean you should stop guessing and start treating this vitamin with the respect it deserves. The second mistake is that many people take B12 without ever asking why they needed it. That question matters more than most people realize. Maybe you do not eat enough foods that contain B12. Maybe your stomach is not absorbing it well. Maybe you have digestive changes that came with age. Maybe you take acid-reducing medicine. Maybe you take metformin for blood sugar. Maybe another health issue is interfering. I am not telling you to stop any medicine on your own. I am telling you not to act as if the vitamin lives in isolation. If you never ask why the level dropped, you may correct only part of the story while the deeper cause keeps working in the background. The third mistake is dose confusion. Some people take a tiny amount once in a while and expect a major turnaround. Others take very large amounts because they think more must be better. But vitamins are not a contest. The goal is not to take the biggest number. The goal is to take the right amount, in the right form, for the right reason, and with the right follow-through. A smart plan helps the body. A random plan creates random results. That is why I tell older adults not to treat B12 like a lucky charm. It is not there to make you feel better just because it is sitting in the cabinet. It must be used thoughtfully. Another mistake is poor timing and poor consistency. Some people remember their B12 only when they feel scared. They take it for 3 days, miss 4 days, then start again after a bad night. The body does not respond well to that kind of chaos. If a vitamin matters for nerves and energy, your routine matters too. Some people do better taking it earlier in the day because they feel more alert afterward. Some do fine with it at other times. The point is not that there is one perfect clock time for everybody. The point is that careless, irregular use often leads to disappointment, and disappointment turns into the false belief that nothing works. I also need to mention absorption, because this is one of the biggest hidden reasons older adults struggle. As we age, the stomach can change. Digestive strength may change. Medicines may change how well nutrients are handled. That means the same vitamin pill that worked for someone else may not work the same way for you. This is why older adults should not feel ashamed if they took B12 and did not feel much. It does not always mean the vitamin was useless. It may mean the body never got the support the person thought it was getting. And that is a very different problem, one that deserves better guidance instead of self-blame. Now let us talk about symptoms, because symptoms are often the body's first cry for help. If your feet burn at night, if your toes tingle, if your hands go numb, if your legs feel weak when you rise from a chair, if your balance is less steady, if your memory feels cloudy, or if you are more tired than your life seems to explain, B12 deserves attention. I am not saying B12 is always the answer, but I am saying it is too important to ignore. Too many older adults are told that they are just getting older, when in truth their body may be running short on something their nerves and blood cells badly need. One of the saddest parts of this issue is that many people keep trying harder instead of trying smarter. They keep buying more products. They keep believing labels. They keep swallowing random supplements and hoping one of them will fix the numbness, the tingling, the heaviness, or the strange weakness in the legs. But hope without understanding can become expensive and painful. What you need is not more guessing. What you need is a better plan. That plan may include blood work, better food, a medication review, the right form of B12, steady use, and enough time for the body to respond. Healing is rarely built on panic. It is built on clear steps. I want to say something very important about nerve healing. Even when B12 is truly part of the problem, nerves do not always improve overnight. Some people expect dramatic change in 3 days. I understand why. If your feet burn, if your sleep is broken, if your balance scares you, of course you want fast relief. But nerves can take time. Sometimes the first change is that the burning starts later in the evening. Sometimes the tingling feels softer. Sometimes the feet still feel numb, but not as dead as before. Sometimes energy improves before sensation does. Healing does not always happen in the order you expect, and it does not always move as fast as you want. Please remember that not all numbness and weakness come from B12. Blood sugar problems can harm nerves. Poor circulation can create similar sensations. Spine problems can compress nerves. Other vitamin shortages can matter too. Medication side effects can play a role. That is why I never want you to hear a message like this and decide that you know everything already. I want you to hear it and become more serious about understanding your body. If B12 is part of your story, wonderful, that gives you a direction. If it is not the whole story, that matters too. A half answer can still leave a person suffering for years. I also want to speak to the emotional side of this, because it is real. When your feet do not feel normal, you stop trusting them. When your legs feel weak, you become cautious. When your balance feels off, you stop moving the way you used to. You hold the wall more often. You think twice about stairs. You sit out activities. You become less spontaneous. It can happen so slowly that nobody around you sees the loss. But you feel it. You feel your world getting smaller. That is why this subject is not only about a vitamin. It is about confidence, freedom, and the quiet fear of losing independence one careful step at a time. Many older adults also feel embarrassed by these symptoms. They do not want to complain. They do not want to look fragile. They do not want to become a burden. So they keep quiet. They tell themselves it is nothing. They say they can handle it. They wait. But waiting is often what allows a manageable problem to become a harder one. If you are dropping things because your hands feel strange, if you are uneasy in the shower, if you feel unsteady at night, or if your feet feel less alive than they used to, please do not hide that. Your dignity is not protected by silence. It is protected by early attention and wise action. Food matters here too. B12 is found mostly in animal foods like meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. Some older adults eat very little of those foods. Some avoid them. Some have poor appetite. Some chew less well. Some live alone and no longer prepare balanced meals. Others eat B12-rich foods but still do not absorb enough. That is why I never want anyone to think the answer lives only in a bottle. Your body needs a full environment of support. Meals matter. Digestion matters. Hydration matters. Sleep matters. Movement matters. The vitamin can help, but it works best when the body is given a fair chance to use it. There is also the issue of medicine. Long-term use of certain stomach medicines can reduce absorption in some people. Metformin can lower B12 over time in many older adults. Other conditions and treatments can shape how the body handles nutrients. This does not mean your medicines are bad. It means they come with responsibilities. You deserve to know how your body is being affected. Many older adults are very faithful about taking prescriptions, but nobody ever tells them to watch B12. Then one day they are exhausted, numb, foggy, and off balance, and everyone acts surprised. I do not want that for you. I want awareness before damage grows deeper. Let us talk about tests for a moment. I know some people do not like going for blood work. I understand that. It can feel tiring, expensive, or stressful. But sometimes a blood test is the difference between wandering in the dark and finally seeing what is wrong. If you suspect B12 may be part of your symptoms, get checked if you can. Know your level. Ask whether more testing is needed if symptoms are strong but the picture is unclear. A real number can calm fear and create direction. Not knowing often creates more anxiety than knowing. Once you have information, you can stop guessing and start acting with purpose. I also want to warn you about another mistake. Some people start B12 and use it as an excuse to ignore everything else. They think, I am taking my vitamin now, so I do not need to look at blood sugar, sleep, walking, hydration, or diet. That is not wise. Your body is a connected system. Nerves live inside the environment you create every day. If you barely move, sleep badly, eat poorly, stay dehydrated, or let blood sugar stay out of control, then one vitamin may not be enough to undo all that pressure. Good health is not built from one heroic choice. It is built from many small choices moving in the same direction. If you are a caregiver listening tonight, I want to speak to you too. If your parent, spouse, or loved one keeps saying their feet feel strange, their legs feel weak, they are more tired, or their mind feels foggy, please do not brush it off. Many older adults minimize symptoms because they do not want to worry anyone. Some adapt so slowly that the family does not notice how much has changed. Help them pay attention. Help them ask questions. Help them remember what symptoms began when. Support can change everything. Sometimes the person suffering is too discouraged to keep pushing for answers. Loving support gives them strength when their own hope is thinning out. There is something else I need you to understand. Loss of sensation can be just as serious as pain. Many people pay attention only when something hurts badly. But if your feet feel less, that matters too. If you cannot feel temperature correctly, if the floor feels strange, if shoes feel odd, or if you stumble more than before, do not wait for pain to prove the problem is real. Loss of feeling can quietly place you in danger. It can affect balance, gait, and safety in the home. Early action matters because prevention is kinder than regret. Once a fall happens, people often wish they had taken the earlier warnings more seriously. I have seen the emotional weight this carries. Some people become afraid to walk in the dark. Some fear stairs. Some avoid going out alone. Some stop exercising because movement feels uncertain. That creates a painful cycle. Less movement leads to weaker muscles, poorer circulation, more fear, and even less movement. This is how a symptom that begins in the toes can slowly reach into the whole shape of a person's life. That is why I am speaking with urgency tonight. You are not being dramatic if you take these symptoms seriously. You are being wise. Your future steps depend on the choices you make now. Please do not give up on yourself just because one supplement did not change your life quickly. I have seen people assume nothing can help them, when in truth they were using the wrong form, taking it irregularly, or missing another major cause. Disappointment is understandable, but surrender is dangerous. Your body may still respond. Your nerves may still improve. Your energy may still rise. Your balance may still become steadier. But that possibility depends on whether you stay involved in your own care. The body often rewards patience, even when it does not reward panic. Slow progress is still progress, and meaningful improvement is never small. I want you to think about what your legs and feet really mean in your life. They are not just body parts. They are your walk to the bathroom at night. They are your path to the kitchen in the morning. They are your safety in the shower, your balance on the stairs, your trip to the mailbox, your freedom to answer the door, your ability to cook, clean, and live in your own home with confidence. When numbness and weakness begin to steal those ordinary actions, life becomes smaller in ways other people may never fully see. That is why taking B12 the right way is not only about vitamin knowledge. It is about protecting your daily life. There is another mistake I see all the time, and it is a quiet one. People stop paying attention because the symptoms are not dramatic every single day. One week the numbness is stronger, the next week it feels lighter, and they decide maybe it was all in their head. Then the burning returns, the legs feel weak again, and fear comes back. Please do not let changing symptoms fool you into doing nothing. Nerve trouble often rises and falls. It can improve a little, then worsen again, especially when the deeper cause is still there. A symptom that comes and goes is still a symptom. Your body does not need to suffer every hour of the day to deserve your attention. I also want to speak to the person who says, "Doctor, I do not even know when this started." That is more common than you think. Many older adults adapt without realizing it. They begin sitting down to put on socks because balance feels different. They hold the railing tighter on stairs. They turn lights on at night because walking in the dark feels less safe. They stop taking long walks. They wear the easiest shoes because their feet feel odd in everything else. These small adjustments may seem harmless, but they often reveal a deeper truth. The body has changed, and you have been quietly working around it. That is why I want you to stop adjusting around symptoms and start understanding them. Please hear this with compassion. If you have been ignoring these signs for months or even years, I do not want you to respond with guilt. Guilt helps nobody. What matters is what you do next. The body is always changing, and every season gives us another chance to pay better attention. Maybe you did not know B12 could affect nerves this way. Maybe nobody explained the link. Maybe you thought vitamins were all the same. Fine, now you know more. Let this new understanding become a turning point. The goal is not to punish yourself for waiting. The goal is to stop waiting now. That is how people reclaim control, not by looking backward with shame, but by moving forward with wisdom. And if you are one of those strong people who always says, I can manage, I want to challenge you gently tonight. Managing is not the same as healing. Enduring is not the same as understanding. Surviving each day with numb feet, weak legs, broken sleep, and silent fear may prove that you are tough, but it does not prove that you are cared for. Please do not confuse endurance with health. You deserve more than endurance. You deserve answers. You deserve steadier steps. You deserve nights that are not ruled by burning nerves and mornings that do not begin with fear. Real strength is not pretending everything is fine. Real strength is facing the truth early enough to protect what still can be protected. Now I want to speak to your heart. I know many of you spent your whole life caring for others first. You worked, cooked, worried, sacrificed, solved problems, and carried responsibility without complaint. Your body served you quietly for decades, so please do not treat yourself like an afterthought now. If your feet burn, if your legs feel weak, if your mind feels slower, if your balance is changing, you deserve more than a random bottle and blind hope. You deserve understanding. You deserve real support. You deserve the truth. And you deserve to act before a quiet warning becomes a louder, scarier one. Tonight I want you to make one promise to yourself. Promise that you will stop guessing. Promise that you will stop treating numbness, weakness, and burning as background noise. Promise that you will ask why. Promise that you will learn whether B12 is part of your story and how to use it wisely if it is. Promise that you will protect your nerves, your steps, your sleep, and your independence while there is still time to strengthen what has started to slip. Because this is not only about one supplement. It is about your right to move through your own life with safety and trust. If my words reached you tonight, then do not just nod and move on. Act. Learn. Ask. Check. Follow through. The numbness you ignore today may become the fear you live with tomorrow. The weakness you dismiss tonight may become the fall you never imagined next month. Please do not wait until fear forces change. Choose wisdom before fear takes the lead. That is how strong people protect their tomorrow. Not by pretending they are fine, but by respecting the early signs that the body sends in a quiet voice. I am Dr. Alina Serratia, and if nobody has told you this lately, let me tell you now. Your symptoms are real. Your concern is valid. Your body is worth understanding. Your nerves are worth protecting. You are not too old, too late, or too far gone to start doing this the right way. Do not abandon yourself. Do not settle for confusion. Start listening while your body is still asking quietly. Your feet, your legs, your balance, your confidence, and your future are asking for your attention. Please give it to them now, before the price of waiting becomes far greater than the effort of acting today.